Good morning traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to today's market update and analysis. So just starting with the key headline this morning, the White House released a statement saying that they could block/stop all incoming flights from China due to coronavirus. That's just basically a measure just to try and halt/control the virus inside the United States. We'll see if that kind of idea spreads, possibly to other areas of the globe, and we'll just see how that one develops. Markets recovered last night, risk markets that is. We just saw a bit of a tipping point. So after that really strong selling we saw on Monday and into Tuesday, we're just looking at the US30 now in front of us, which tracks the Dow. So the key thing we can see at the moment on the US30 is that medium-term trend here has been broken. We'll have to give this a bit of time. We can see a bit of selling this morning, but it's very early in the out-of-hours session, so it's not a real true indication of where the market's at the moment. So it needs time really to see whether you're either going to go down to retest that low or if we're going to have another rally. Sometimes we do see a bit of a two-phase in the counter rally that can be quite steep and aggressive before if sellers really come back in and build numbers again to push a new move or extension lower. So definitely a bit of a wait and watch on this one for now. We'll just move on to some of the other markets. So last night the yen came off, the dollar fought back. CB consumer confidence came in higher than expected, and that did drive a bit more momentum to the USD, and the yen was lower against all the majors yesterday, so overnight. So we can just see the dollar yen at the moment after some of the strong selling we've seen. We've seen buyers create a bit of a support point at this level here. Again, like with the US30, we're just going to have to wait and see how the next piece of price action goes, if buyers do hold a new rally or if we do see a new lower, a test down to test this low. And just moving on to some of the risk markets to the yen, there's a very similar story. But the one key characteristic we can see now is some of the dynamics have changed. We're seeing a lot of trend breaks now. We're not seeing a position of price that is still inside trend. We do see here, it is still inside here. There could a consolidation point, but again, that medium to short term trend has been broken, and for now the short to maybe medium term is definitely on the seller side. Over to the USD, we saw a move lower in the dollar CAD as oil fought back. We'll get to commodities in one moment. The pound finished lower last night, but still remains in consolidation pattern, as we can see here. While that level holds, there is still a bit of support in the market. And the euro and the Aussie basically put in lows, but they're yet to be confirmed yet. And this low is lined up nicely with this previous low, and the Aussie, which has been hit very hard due to this virus and really flare up of the coronavirus, is sitting back around this low that was set back in November 19. So short term at the moment, yes, we haven't seen any real confirmation yet, and we have Australian data coming out 11:30, the CPI and trim mean CPI. So if you are trading the Aussie dollar, keep an eye on the market at 11:30 when that CPI data comes out. So now, as we mentioned before, oil fought back. Like some of the index markets we just saw, it's in a very strong short to medium term downtrend. Markets do make counter rallies. That's part of it. Just like when we're seeing a rally higher, there is a counter rally lower. So we want to see what happens with this rally. If we see a new higher low that sets up buying support, or if we see another extension higher and then more selling emerge, we just have to give that some time to work itself out. And gold was lower last night. It filled its gap that we saw on the previous day of trade, and gold's still a little bit interesting now. We've got a lower high now after this higher high, and we want to see what happens if price gets back into this area, if support starts to come back in, or there's plenty of demand there, or if we do see another strong test lower, which could see at a retest of that 1545, 1546 area. So there's some of the things we're watching now. Bitcoin we did discuss yesterday. I want to have another look at Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin's a really strange one at the moment. It's very hard to gauge what side of the fence it's on, because it was tracking lower, and then when this coronavirus, strong selling really got going, Bitcoin responded with strong buying, as if traders were looking to it as some sort of safe haven. But after markets came back last night in risk, Bitcoin's continued to rally. So we're not entirely sure if it's following a safe haven side of the fence or if it's trading as a risk market. And it's not even, gold was lower last night, but Bitcoin held firm. It's having a really fantastic morning so far today. It's just racing higher at the moment, trading, just over 3.3% higher this morning. So this trend in Bitcoin looks to be, off and running. So we can see that long-term trend break here. It tested the trend line here, had a new extension up, it had a leg down, and it has a new extension up, hitting new highs, it's a better idea. So it's nearly hitting new 3-month highs, so if it breaks that point. So keep an eye on Bitcoin if it's on the markets, on your watch list, as demand looks to be pretty healthy, from what we can see here at the moment with this new leg up. So that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic trading day, and again, keep an eye on the Australian CPI at 11:30 if you are trading the Aussie or watching the Aussie. So until tomorrow, good trading and bye for now.